Morning. Today we're going to look at a couple of different Firesteels. One is a Swedish Firesteel. The other one is the Armageddon Firesteel from Firesteel.com. And I thought it would be interesting to see how these two compare because the metal component is probably a bit different, and they're a bit differently sized too. The Armageddon is much larger. So right now we're here in the beautiful suburbs of Philadelphia, and it's about 33 degrees. There's a mild breeze, so it'll be interesting to see if we have any results, good results, starting a fire with just a spark and some wood shavings. So let's take a look first of all at what we're going to use to start this fire. As you can see, we have a few things here. First of all, there's our wood, which we're going to use for fuel. On the left here, we have the Swedish Firesteel. I've used this for a while. I think I picked it up at REI a couple of years ago. And that came with its own striker, which is this piece of metal right here. This is the Armageddon Firesteel from Firesteel.com. As you can see, it's quite a bit larger. It's 3/8 inch in diameter compared to about 1/4 inch, I think, here. It did not come with its own striker. It did come pre-drilled with a lanyard hole. That's an option that I paid, I think, like $1 or $2 extra for. So for a striker, took a section of hacksaw blade that I had built as part of a fire kit a little while ago. I dipped the handle in tool dip and then wrapped it around with some yellow mason's twine. That'll make it a bit easier to find if I happen to drop it. So then also we're going to make some wood shavings, and for that I've got a case trapper knife. So let's make some shavings first. And we can make a feather stick, which is a good way to easily start a fire. Not now, Amanda. This is some pretty hard wood I'm working with here. Now, if I was just using a knife, or I mean a lighter or a match, this would be very easy to get going. Using a spark, it's a bit more difficult. You need to have something that will actually catch the spark and ignite, and then get the rest of it going. Now, got some feathers here. Normally you'd want a bit more than that. You do want to get the feathers fairly thin. One thing you can do also is if you hold the knife at about a 90-degree angle, you can make some really fine shavings. And give you an idea of what kind of spark we're going to do here. I'll untangle these. First we'll do this, and I'm actually using the toothed edge because it seems to spark a bit better. Of course, it also manages to there we go. Manages to chew up the thing a bit. Sometimes I find that it's a good idea to refresh the thing either with a different sparker. This one. see there's a protective black coating on here. That needs to go away before you can get any kind of a real spark. Okay, we're back. Turned off the camera while I scraped up a pile of wood shavings, and so we're going to give this a try now. The other thing also is that playing around while the camera was off with a few different kinds of strikers, and what I have here is my old Swiss Army Pioneer by Victorinox, and it has a very handy awl or reamer blade on it, and I found that this actually makes a really good scraper. It's something of a misconception that you need carbon steel to strike one of these Firesteels. Actually, all you need is a sharp edge. This Victorinox has what they call rust fry or stainless steel blades, and you get a nice handle and you get an acute edge, which hopefully that'll come out on camera. So we're going to give this a try, and as I mentioned, it's a bit windy, so we'll see if we get any luck here. Trying to arrange this with a little bit of a windbreak. It's also a bit tricky. We don't want to disturb or mess up where we have our tinder. Oh, almost there. Let's see if we can rearrange that. Almost. Well, we have a couple that are starting to go. Not quite yet. Try to get this right up around it. And we've got flame. So here we go. We've got fire, and we didn't use any tinder other than shavings that we could get off of some really hard wood. Believe it or not, that case that I was using before was sharp enough to shave, and it still had problems going through this wood. So, and the fire just got blown out. See what happens when you talk and don't pay attention? See if we can get that going again. See, in real life, we wouldn't be screwing around talking to a camera. So, hopefully you found that somewhat informative, and see you some other time.